Hello and welcome back to our writing project where we are writing a non-chronological report about an animal of our choice. So this is lesson 2. Now in lesson 1 you listened to me read our model text, which is about the platypus, and then your task was to make a note of all of the new vocabulary and write that down with the meaning or the definition which you looked up. So before we begin this lesson, let's take a look at what I'd like you to do. So number 1, in a moment you are going to pause this video and you're going to re-watch the video of me reading the non-chronological report about the platypus. It's really important that you do this. Don't just try and remember it from yesterday. And we're going to do that every day so that you become really familiar with the text. And then after you've re-watched me reading the text, you are going to reread the text yourself. The text is on Google Classrooms, and then you're going to go over all of that vocabulary that you found. So please pause this video, and when you've done those two things, come back. Okay, welcome back. Now, let's look at point number 3. I am going to talk through the features of our model text on the platypus. So here we have the text. Now this is a non-chronological report, and what that means is that the information is not in time order. Chronological means in time order, and this text, the information has been ordered, it's been grouped. So we've come up with, for this one, or I came up with, several different areas and I grouped the information. So let me talk you through this so that when you come to write your own, you know what to do. So first of all, at the top, we have the title, The Platypus. So when you write your report, you will have a title, and even though we're writing about all platypuses, when we talk about a species, we can just say the. So if you choose to write about lions, your title might be The Lion, and it means the species of lions. The ostrich, and it means the species of ostriches. So let's look at the introduction. Now the introduction, we do not go into great detail about platypuses. We just give a few interesting facts. So platypuses are mammals. They're found in Australia and Tasmania. They were hunted, but they're now a protected species. And for this particular animal, they're of interest to scientists because of their genetic information. So there is a couple of interesting facts that we put in there, but we don't really get into telling all about the platypus. It's just a couple of facts to interest the reader. Then we have our first named section, which is appearance. So appearance means what something looks like. And here we talk about everything what the platypus looks like. So for example, they're very an odd looking animal. They have webbed feet. They've got a bill of a duck and an otter's tail. They've got brown fur and they've got spurs on their legs. So it's all about what they look like. The next section is diet, and that's what they eat. And there is a list here: shrimps, small fish, larvae of aquatic insects like dragonflies. Larvae means the young, the babies. So, for example, the larvae of a frog is a tadpole. It also mentions how they catch their food. And there is also an interesting fact that they have to eat 20% of their body weight each day. So they have to spend 12 hours per day foraging for food, which means looking for food. In the next section, we have habitat, which is where a creature lives. And it talks about rivers and streams. It talks about how they live in burrows, which are a tunnel underground, and where they have these tunnels. And then the last section is behaviour. And it talks about how platypuses are born blind and hairless, how they feed on milk from their mother, what they look like when they're born, and when they become independent. This is going to be different for every animal. You might be talking about hunting behaviour, whether your animal is dangerous, whether it can be tame, or whether it's completely wild. Now, let's go back to our checklist. So I've just shown you the features of that text, I will be going over this again, but I've looked at basically how I have organised this text in terms of the sections and the information. So your task today is number 4. You are going to research your own animal and you're going to make notes under these headings: introduction, appearance, diet, habitat, and I need to just add in there behaviour, because I've missed that out. So I'll show you what your notes might look like. I'll show you my notes. Here are my notes of when I researched the platypus so that I could write that non-chronological report. So in the introduction, even though it doesn't say introduction, that's what this is at the start. It does not have a title saying introduction, but that's what it is. And it has some key facts. Now you will notice in my notes that I haven't written full sentences. I've just written key information. For introduction, I've got Australia, Tasmania, hunted until 20th century, protected species. They share their DNA with birds and reptiles and scientists study them. Appearance, very odd, strange. Duck's bill, webbed feet, otter's tail, brown fur to blend in, and a spur on a hind leg to inject venom. Again, I haven't written full sentences. I've just chosen key pieces of information. For diet, I've got shrimp, small fish, so I've got what they eat. And then those are the key facts: 20% of body weight each day, 12 hours foraging. Habitat, so the rivers and streams in mainland Tasmania and Australia. They live in small burrows and the female builds a special burrow. And then finally, for my behaviour, I've just got born blind and hairless, feed on milk from their mother, become independent at 4 months. So this is your task for today. You don't need to set it out in your book like that. You can just have introduction and some key points, and then underneath, you don't need to draw these lines like I have. But this is what I'm going to expect to see when you upload your photograph, that you have chosen an animal which you are interested in, and you're going to go away and you're going to research, and you're going to come up with some key facts for introduction, and then appearance, habitat, diet and behaviour. And it can be any animal that you want to write about. I strongly suggest you do something that you like and you're interested in, because it will make this a more fun task and you'll do your very best. So when you have done that, you record that, and then that will then take us ready for lesson 3, when we'll look more closely at how we're going to turn our notes into our actual writing. So thank you for watching. Bye for now.